I met this next gentleman through a contact that was an investment banker. And I thought, if I asked you a question, what is an investment banker, Russ? Do you have any idea what it is?
I think it's a banker who invests.
Nailed it.
That's a gift, Bob.
Adam Connors is in studio with C.K. Cooper and Company. Adam, how are you, brother?
I'm great, actually. How you
so
doing?
you guys are C.K. Cooper and Company, by the way, ckcooper.com. You're investment bankers.
That's right, yeah. We're a full-service investment bank that focuses nearly exclusively on the small cap space. And what we do is that we have all these different wheels on a spoke, if you will. Part of it is that we have the investment banking group, which I'm a part of.
So
if I had to cast an investment banker, you'd get the part. I mean,
really, just like that?
He looks like.
Well, what is it? But for guys like Nails,
yeah.
What define investment banker? I believe it is a specialized banker.
Sure.
Okay.
With no real branch.
There's no checkbooks.
Is that an anatomy thing? Or
I don't know.
I don't have a branch?
Not that branch.
Oh, okay. I don't have a branch now.
Yeah,
First time on the show, investment bankers don't have branches.
No. I'm saying, like, when I think banker,
there's no ATM.
Someone's sitting at a bank, and so banker doesn't necessarily mean to you guys, you investment guys.
No, I'm on the 7th floor, so it's weird for them to pull up in their car and not on my window.
He just throws the money out the window.
Helicopter, yeah,
the little suction thing.
So you have an office. That's good. No,
I do have an office.
But you don't have branches necessarily. It's not that kind of a bank.
No, not necessarily. So when you think of bank, you think of retail folks, people that come in and they interact with somebody at a teller. Well, what we do is my clients are actually companies, and so I service companies that are all up and down their balance sheet. I know I'm getting a little more detail already,
that's
but
good, though.
essentially what that is helping them finance. And actually, anytime a company buys one another, anytime they need special advisory services as a conduit with Wall Street, I'm the guy. So I'm the guy that comes in. I'm the one that has relationships.
The whole show, then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly right.
Well, that's the plan. I mean, we can come on.
That's exactly right. And that's what Adam's going to do here. He's going to take this investment banking function to the next level for us. Tell you what we're going to do. Let me stack all the commercials right here. We're going to have more of Adam till the top of the hour. We're going to go into kind of what he does, and specifically, we've been talking about the volatility sign flashing red. We've been talking about Europe. I want to hear from an investment banker's perspective what he thinks the market's like, because this is the tip of the spear, kids. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's not just conjecture at this level. You're talking about a guy who's representing companies and they're raising money. This is on the battlefield, not just when you hear us talk about the Dow or the NASDAQ or the S&P. That's not what this is. This is the real deal. Russ and Sully on the Big Biz Show, bigbizshow.com. Adam Connors, our guest. Stand by. We'll be back in a second.
Not quite yet. Hold on. Okay, now we're ready. This is the Big Biz Show. It's 2012. Come on. It all ends in March. Here's Russ and Sully.
Russ and Sully. Big Biz Show, bigbizshow.com. Welcome to the broadcast. Coming up on the program tomorrow, Michael Rosbrook and retirement expert Julia Valentine. Our website, bigbizshow.com. Don't forget, you can hear me tonight on FM News and Talk 95.7 AM 600 Kogo. All in the Southland, from San Diego all the way up to San Francisco, as far east as New Mexico. You can go to coalitionradio.net. Looking forward to joining you there. Our guest, Adam Connor from C.K. Cooper. C.K. Cooper is an investment banking firm. We've been talking about what investment banking does here. Rusty Nails, who I believe has got a better grasp on what these guys do.
Yeah. Well, they're located on the 7th floor, so they have a fly-up window if you've got a Cessna.
Adam, what is you are a partner there and a director of investment banking. So in other words, you help the companies themselves.
That's right.
Small public companies, small private companies looking to raise capital.
Yep, that's right.
All right, so that doesn't get any more real than that. How tough are the capital markets these days? Let's say that Russ and I have a which you heard that company Mindseeker.
Yeah, sure.
Solid, cool company. Company like that comes up and says, I need to raise $10 million or something like that.
Sure.
How hard is it versus what it was 5 years ago? Is it even feasible these days?
It is feasible, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's where I've specialized in doing. And so the idea is to trying to find, take the temperature of the company, try to understand exactly what they're looking for, and then tailoring a product that not only the street will represent, Wall Street, who the investors are going to be.
The street. Homeboy.
You're liking this.
I'm liking the street.
And then also, but what the company can take from a dilutionary standpoint, as well as maximizing returns to their current shareholders, while selling the merits that the company has to the street for the new investors.
So the long story short is there is money out there.
There is money out there, however.
For the right deal.
For the right deal. And there is always a caveat. There is always a caveat,
Oh, yeah.
Sully. That is that there's a couple different thresholds that a company has when it comes to presence in the public markets. And what that means is that you have companies that have freely trading shares, and you have companies that have restricted shares.
Oh, yeah.
What's the difference?
The restricted shares are shares that cannot be readily sold in the secondary market. So if you wanted to buy that company, if you wanted to sell those shares as an investor, you would call 144 stock. So you have a holding period until those shares become effective. And there's many more other hoops that I could go into for hours.
And that
Why do they do that, by the way?
They do that because basically you're selling unregistered shares, which essentially bypasses.
It
bypasses the SEC registration
you can
process.
print money.
You can print money. However, there is a cost to that.
No, but I'm saying, though, that's why they do it, though, because a company could feasibly just issue 150% of 100%.
Sure.
Oh, boy.
And then the people that legitimately paid for that stock are stuck holding the bag.
Now, solely on that point, though, is that you still have to have those folks that are going to say, for my dollar, I want X amount of your shares. And if they're going to see that their shares aren't going to be worth a whole lot at the end of this thing,
they're going to sell them.
They're not going to sell them, or they won't even invest. And so they can't even sell it. So the company has to be investment grade.
And that time period can be whatever you determine, or is that determined by the SEC? Like it has to be 3 months, 6 months.
So
there are 4 choices.
There are defined rules with 144 stock. So you can actually, as a company, and part of the deals that we do, and this is why I have a job really, is to help companies navigate through this process. But actually, the idea is that if you can have registration statements and registration rights, and so these companies they can issue stock, and then on that part of the agreement, they have to register that stock as soon as possible so they can become freely trading. Or by default, Rusty, after 6 months, those shares become freely tradable, and you can trade them in the open market.
Let me ask you this, is because this brings up, I'm just getting an email here. I got an email from Daryl Howell here asking, I've got 144 stock from my company. What do I do with it? So obviously he's been offered this as a compensation thing, right? So he's got to hold on to it for 6 months.
Well, he has 6 months, but he also has insider restrictions as well. Okay. So I don't know what his position is at the company, but a lot of times you have restrictions when it comes to insider selling. Plus, your company does not want you selling stock, especially if you're a public company, because it shows a negative, has a negative sentiment in the market.
Like people are getting out.
Exactly. Which is the same reason
management knows something and they're leaving. You don't want that.
And everybody else will start following.
Exactly.
The same reason Bill Gates just bought a bunch of Microsoft. He works the other end of that equation, is he wants to show some he wants to show
confidence in his little company.
Insider buying is a wonderful bullish sign.
Yeah. Adam Connor's our guest. He's with CK Cooper. What does CK Cooper do exactly?
We actually focus on the small cap energy space. We focus on the small cap healthcare space, and we focus on the small cap aerospace.
Okay, so you guys are very criteria specific to the industry.
We have 3 industry verticals that we focus on. However, I get to personally, in our group, we also look at off deals that don't fit within necessarily the vertical space. But
you got the best job of all.
We do have the best job of all. Yeah. Even though I don't tell my peers that in the other departments.
No, but it really is, though. That's good stuff. CKCooper.com, by the way, is the website. Let's before we let you out of here, I only got about a minute left. Let me move over to you talk about specializing in the energy space and through the aerospace. Energy, I can see. Aerospace, does it even exist anymore?
It does exist. As you know,
like for example, like those guys, the guys we just had, they're using a spectral technology.
Sure.
Would that fit in an aerospace box?
Absolutely.
That's what that is. Okay.
Absolutely.
I think of NASA. I think of General Dynamics. And I think aerospace.
And you think of the momentum that ran out, especially in our area in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
We think all the jobs going, but no, absolutely. I mean, look at the Department of Defense. I don't have the numbers in front of me.
No,
but those are some big numbers that are going out to the actual companies that we service.
So what you're saying though is there's opportunity there.
Absolutely
for the smaller guys out there. Let's turn the page to Europe real quick. I've been talking about this for the last couple of I'm going to say since August. Obviously, investors may have been maybe saying good riddance to 2011, but it's going to be a choppy year for the next few months. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
In the major market?
We have a lot of things. I mean, we see in Europe, we see a lot of different turmoil going on. We also see that this year is going to be a tremendous amount of volatility. I'm not the only one that's saying this.
Sure.
There's a deceleration process going on in the world GDP numbers. And so we're actually concerned on our side. That's why we think in the small cap space, picking companies that work, picking companies that have a definitive niche, those are your ones that you're going to have the best chance at profiting from in 2012.
I think for my money, I can tell you this. I gave a bunch of stocks that I would avoid for the time being, and many of you follow me on Twitter. I'll put it out there. But I was thinking those companies who derives more than 35% revenue from Europe, maybe set them on the sidelines for right now, because obviously there's a recession going on in Europe. obviously we're unsure of what's going on there. Would you agree with that, or do you think it's opportunity more than fear? Because I'm going on the fear side of this.
Well, and I'll keep a certain theme. As an investment banker, I deal with a lot of insider information, and so there's a lot of things that I can't. Oh yes, I know, and it's quite a role.
Call me.
Yeah,
call
absolutely.
No, he can't call you.
What? Nothing.
That call will never happen.
If I was a congressman, you could. If I was a congressman, you could call me.
But at the end of the day, you agree that there's some stuff we should.
There are things behind the scenes that are going on that we will never be privy to. Right. I can guarantee you that.
Ooh.
And so, how do you know that as an individual investor? Your guess is as good as mine. That's cool. Scary.
Adam Connors.
I want to be an investment banker.
We're going to have him back on a regular basis. He's our new investment banking expert. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. CKCooper.com is the website.